When you think the storm has finally passed at Heartland, that's when the ground gives way. In season 19, episode 7, Fall Down, Get Back Up, every bond will be tested, every truth will surface, and one mistake could break the family apart. What begins as an ordinary morning turns into a day that changes everything. Forever. The sun rises over Heartland, soft and golden, but something feels off. There's a stillness in the air, the kind that comes before a storm, the kind Amy's learned to recognize not from the weather, but from life. She stands near the barn, brushing Spartan, her hands steady, but her thoughts scattered. It's been weeks since the threats, the letters, and the revelations about Ty's past. She's tried to bury it all beneath the work, beneath the chores and the daily rhythm of ranch life. But peace doesn't last long here. Not when secrets have roots deeper than the soil. Jack notices her quietness at breakfast. "You've been distant," he says gently. Amy shrugs it off, saying she's just tired, but Jack doesn't buy it. He's been around long enough to know when someone's holding back. "You don't get stronger by pretending nothing hurts," he says before walking out. His words hit harder than she lets on. Meanwhile, Lou is juggling chaos of her own. The Dude Ranch is nearly ready to reopen after the renovations, but she's been receiving anonymous emails warning her to stop the project. At first, she thought it was a prank, until last night when she found tire tracks near the gate and the lock on her office door broken. Nothing was stolen, but someone wanted her to know they were there. Tim has been restless too, pacing the yard like an old soldier sensing trouble. He's been in touch with an old rodeo contact who claims to have information about Horizon Ventures, the shadowy company that's been haunting their family since Ty's secret research was uncovered. "They're not done with us," Tim mutters, jaw clenched. "They've just been waiting for the right time to strike." Amy tries to stay focused on her work. A new horse, Ember, has arrived. Skittish, unpredictable, but something about the animal draws her in. As she works with Ember, she can't help but see a reflection of herself, fighting to trust again to heal. But while she's training the horse, her phone buzzes in her pocket. No number, just a single message. "Stop digging, Amy. You're in over your head." She freezes. The barn feels suddenly colder. She shows the message to Jack later that day. He reads it, says nothing for a moment, then looks her dead in the eye. "If they're trying to scare you, it means they're scared of you," he says. "You hold the truth now. Don't let them take it from you." Across town, Lou meets Jessica for coffee at Maggie's diner, trying to keep her composure. "It's getting worse," she says softly. "Whoever these people are, they're watching us." Jessica leans in. "Then we hit back with the truth." Lou nods, but her mind is racing. There's a line between courage and recklessness, and she's not sure which side she's on anymore. That night, Amy sits by Spartan's stall, the barn lit only by the soft glow of a lantern. She pulls out Ty's notebook again, the one she swore she'd put away for good. Inside, she finds something new she hadn't noticed before. A folded piece of paper, yellowed with age. It's a photograph. Ty standing beside a group of horses, one of which she recognizes immediately. Ember. Her breath catches. Ember was part of Ty's research program. The horse's arrival wasn't random. Someone sent it here, straight to Amy. But why? She flips the photo over. On the back, in Ty's handwriting, are 4 words that make her heart pound. "Find what I started." Amy's mind spins. If Ember is connected to Ty's old work, then whoever sent the horse knows about her and wants her involved. But what do they want her to find? And who can she even trust now? Outside, lightning flashes in the distance. A storm is rolling in fast. The wind rattles the barn doors as Amy stares at the photograph, clutching it like a clue to a mystery she never asked for but can't walk away from. Jack calls out from the porch, his voice barely cutting through the thunder. "Amy, you'd better get inside. This one's gonna be bad." But Amy doesn't move. Not yet. She looks at Spartan, then back at Ember, whose restless eyes gleam in the flickering light. There's something in the horse's gaze. Not fear, but recognition. As if Ember remembers Ty and everything he left behind. When the thunder cracks overhead, Amy finally whispers to herself, "If you want me to find what you started, Ty, then I will." The camera would linger on the photograph as rain begins to pour, the ink from Ty's words starting to blur. Find what I started. And in that moment, one thing becomes clear. Ty's story isn't over, and neither is Heartland's fight for the truth. The storm doesn't stop all night. Rain hammers the roof, wind howls through the trees, and the sound of thunder rolls endlessly across the valley. By morning, the air feels heavy, charged, as if the sky itself is holding its breath. Heartland has seen its share of bad weather, but this one feels different. This isn't just nature, it's something darker closing in. Amy barely slept. She keeps replaying the photograph in her mind. Ty's handwriting, the hidden message, the horse named Ember that somehow found its way back to her. She can't ignore it anymore. Ty was involved in something far bigger than anyone at Heartland ever knew, and now whatever he started is finding its way back home. At breakfast, Jack tries to make conversation, but Amy's mind is miles away. Finally, she speaks. I think Ember was part of Ty's old research. I found a photo. He must have worked with her before everything. The room falls silent. Lou sets down her coffee cup slowly. Are you saying someone sent her here on purpose? Amy nods. And whoever it was, they know exactly what they're doing? Jack sighs, his expression grim. Then we need to find out who brought her and why. Tim, who's been listening quietly, slams his hand on the table. We should have gone to the police the second all this started. Lou shakes her head. You really think the police can handle a corporation like Horizon Ventures? They'll bury it, just like before. Jack leans back in his chair. We've dealt with worse than men in suits. If they want to fight, they've come to the wrong ranch. Amy stands, her voice quiet but firm. No. If we fight them on their level, we lose. Ty didn't believe in that. He believed in truth, in proof. We need to find out what he was working on and finish it. Later that day, Amy drives into Hudson, her mind racing. She finds her way to the old clinic where Ty once volunteered. Now abandoned, boarded up, a ghost from the past. Dust coats the floor, and faded photographs still hang on the walls. She finds a drawer with Ty's name on a file tab. Inside, there's nothing but a single flash drive wrapped in plastic. Her hands tremble as she picks it up. Back at Heartland, she plugs it into her laptop. Files load slowly. Documents, photos, video clips, it's all there. Ty's notes about animal recovery experiments, detailed reports about horses who had been enhanced for performance and endurance. At first, the research looks legitimate, until Amy finds a document labeled Phase 2. Her heart sinks as she reads it. The tests weren't just medical, they were genetic. Horses were being modified, forced into dangerous experiments. Ty had discovered it, and he tried to stop them. A sudden knock on the door startles her. She slams the laptop shut. Jack walks in. You okay? He asks. Amy nods quickly, but her hands are shaking. Just tired, she lies. Jack studies her for a moment, then places a hand on her shoulder. You don't have to carry everything on your own, you know? She gives him a small smile but says nothing. After he leaves, Amy opens the files again. There's a video file at the end, one labeled with today's date, though Ty's been gone for years. Confused, she clicks it. The screen flickers, showing a blurry image of a man in a lab coat speaking into a camera. We've located the horse, the man says. Subject E, codename Ember, has been returned to Heartland. Phase 2 will proceed once Borden's wife engages. Amy's blood runs cold. Once Borden's wife engages. They wanted her to find Ember. They wanted her to open these files. It was a trap. She slams the laptop shut again, her heart racing. Outside, she hears the faint sound of an engine idling. Someone parked at the end of the driveway. She peers out the window. A black S6V under the trees. Headlights off, just like before Lou rushes in from the kitchen. Amy, look at this. She holds up her phone, showing an email that just came through. No sender, no signature. Just a single line of text. If you want the truth, come alone. Attached is a map pin leading deep into the foothills. Amy exhales sharply. They're playing with us, Iya. Jack overhears from the hallway. You're not going anywhere alone, he says firmly, but Amy shakes her head. If I don't go, they'll come here. I can't risk Heartland again. Tim stands up angry. Amy, this isn't bravery. It's walking straight into their trap. Amy looks at him, calm but resolute. Then I'll walk in with my eyes open. That night, she saddles Spartan, slipping the flash drive into her jacket. The sky is dark, the wind sharp. As she rides out into the foothills, she can feel eyes on her. The same watching presence that's haunted her for weeks. When she reaches the meeting point, she finds a clearing lit by headlights. A man steps forward, the same one who came to the ranch before. You just don't listen, do you? He says softly. Ty warned us you were stubborn. Amy's grip tightens on Spartan's reins. You talk about Ty like you knew him. I did, the man replies. He tried to help us, until he realized what we were doing. Then he turned on us. Amy's voice trembles with anger. He turned on you because you were hurting innocent animals. The man smirks. Innocent? Those horses were the beginning of something greater. You think Ty's legacy was healing? No, it was evolution. Amy shakes her head. You're lying? Am I? He says, stepping closer. Ty's work lives on. In Ember and now in you. Before Amy can respond, Spartan snorts and rears, sensing danger. The man steps back into the shadows, his voice echoing, Fall down, get back up, isn't that what Ty always said? Let's see if you can. Then the headlights vanish and Amy is left alone in the dark, rain starting to fall again. She feels dizzy, her heart pounding, and when she looks down, she sees a small red light blinking on her saddlebag. A tracker. Someone's been following her all along. She tears it off and throws it into the mud, breathing hard. Then she looks up toward the horizon, whispering through the rain, You can follow me all you want. I'm not falling again. As thunder crashes overhead, the words fall down, get back up echo in her mind, not as a warning, but as a promise. And far away, in a dark office lit only by a computer screen, the man from the ridge watches the tracker signal disappear. A small smile curves his lips. She's ready, he says into the phone. The voice on the other end replies, cold and calm. Then it's time for Phase 3. The next morning at Heartland begins under a pale sky. The rain has stopped, but the silence it leaves behind feels heavier than the storm itself. Amy hasn't told anyone what happened out in the foothills. Not yet. She spent the night sitting by Spartan's stall, staring at the flash drive, trying to decide if she's strong enough to open it again. She knows now that Ty's work wasn't just about healing. It was about uncovering something powerful, something dangerous. And whatever Phase 3 means, it's coming straight for them. At breakfast, Lou and Jack notice the exhaustion written all over Amy's face. You didn't sleep, did you? Lou asks. Amy forces a tired smile. I'm fine, she lies. Jack studies her for a moment. You went out last night, he says quietly. It isn't a question. It's a truth spoken by someone who knows her too well. Amy doesn't answer. Jack just sighs. You remind me of your mom when she thought she could fix the whole world alone. Later that day, Lou gets a call from her friend in Calgary. The reporter she's been trying to reach. The woman's voice is tense. I don't know what you've gotten into, Lou, but your family's name came up on something big. Government contracts, private research, all tied to Horizon Ventures. And here's the scary part. One of the project sites was registered under Heartland Ranch 10 years ago. Lou's breath catches. That's impossible. It's not, the reporter says. It was hidden under a different company name. Someone used your land as part of their cover. Lou thanks her and hangs up, her hands shaking. She rushes to Amy, who's out by the paddock working with Ember. Amy, Lou says, barely able to keep her voice steady. Heartland was part of Ty's old project. Someone used our ranch, our home, to hide what they were doing. Amy stares at her in disbelief. No, Ty would have never... I'm not saying he knew, Lou interrupts. I'm saying they used him, and they used us. Before Amy can respond, Tim pulls up in his truck, gravel spraying under his tires. "We've got a problem," he says grimly. "One of our horses, Midnight, was taken from the north pasture. No broken fences, no signs of struggle, just gone." Amy's stomach drops. "They're sending a message." The family gathers in the house, tension running high. Jack sits at the head of the table, arms crossed. "We can't keep reacting," he says firmly. "We need to take control of this." Tim leans forward. "Then we hit them where it hurts. Find out who's behind Horizon and expose them." Lou shakes her head. "That's not enough. We need proof. Evidence that ties them to Ty's research, to the horses, to us." Amy listens quietly, then opens her jacket and sets the flash drive on the table. "The proof is right here." Jack looks uneasy. "Are you sure you want to open that again?" Amy nods. "I already did. But there's more. They left me another message. Said Phase 3 is next." Lou frowns. "What does that even mean?" Amy's eyes drift toward Ember outside the window, restless and pacing. "I think it means she's the key." That night, Amy returns to the barn alone. She approaches Ember slowly, her flashlight beam catching the horse's wide, alert eyes. "What did they do to you?" she whispers. As she runs her hand down Ember's neck, her fingers brush against a small ridge under the horse's mane. Something metallic? Her stomach twists. She pulls a pair of scissors from her pocket and snips away a bit of hair, revealing a small embedded tag. A tracking chip. Her pulse spikes. She pries it out, wraps it in a cloth, and runs back toward the house. But halfway there, the barn lights flicker. Once, twice, and then die completely. The ranch plunges into darkness. From the distance, an engine roars to life. Tires spin in the mud. Amy drops the chip and runs for the porch, shouting for Jack. He bursts out the door, shotgun in hand, scanning the fields. "Where are they?" he growls. Lou rushes out behind him. "The power's been cut!" A flash of headlights sweeps across the yard, then disappears. Silence, only the sound of the wind. Inside, the power flickers back, but just for a second, long enough for Amy's laptop screen to light up on the kitchen table. A new file has appeared, auto-downloaded from the same encrypted network. Its name, falldown_getbackup.mp4. Amy clicks it. A video begins to play. Grainy security footage from years ago. Ty appears, standing in a lab, shouting at someone off camera. "You said no animals would be harmed," he yells. A man's voice replies coldly. "We're not harming them, Borden. We're improving them." Ty slams a folder down. "You're playing God." The voice responds, "Maybe God needs help." The video cuts to black. Amy sits frozen. Lou covers her mouth, trembling. Jack leans over the table, his voice low and steady. "They twisted his work, everything he believed in." Amy nods slowly. "And now they're using it again." Outside, thunder rumbles. Another storm forming over the hills. Amy looks out at the horses in the pasture, her heart aching. "Ty once said every fall teaches you how to rise again," she murmurs. "Maybe this is ours, Inuisaum." Tim steps closer. "If they're coming for us, we won't be the ones who fall." But even as he says it, something deep down tells them all that the next fall won't be so easy to get back up from that night. Amy hides the flash drive and the tag she removed from Ember inside the old barn wall, the same spot Ty used to store his tools. As she's sealing it up, she hears a faint noise outside. Boots crunching on gravel. She steps out, flashlight in hand, scanning the darkness. Nothing. But when she turns back toward the barn, there's something carved into the wood that wasn't there before. A single phrase, freshly cut and glinting in the light. "You can't protect what's already ours." Amy backs away slowly, her breath quick and shallow. The next morning, the Heartland family stands at the fence line, watching the sunrise. The land looks peaceful again, but everyone knows it's a fragile piece. One wrong move, and it'll shatter. Amy looks at Jack, her voice barely above a whisper. "They're already here, aren't they?" Jack's jaw tightens. "They never left. In the distance, a dark vehicle glints in the morning light before disappearing down the road. And just like that, the battle for Heartland's future begins. Not with noise, but with a quiet, unshakable determination. Amy looks back toward the barn and murmurs, "Fall down, get back up, I guess it's our turn." The screen fades to black, but one line appears next in Ty's handwriting. The same from his old notebook. Strength isn't never falling, it's standing when you do.